One more, I can control my office. Let's say I do everything right, I can control my office, but an office is not an island. I have to work with other entities, vendors who may be touching protected health information. Help me understand what a doctor's office must do to work with vendors so that they're handling protected health information safely.
So you bring up a great point. And these vendors that you speak of under the law are called business associates, and you're required to have a contract with them. So let's think about what would be a business associate. Well, it's anyone that has access to patient information, using patient information to help a physician's office. Let's say it's a third-party billing service or a transcription service, or your IT guys that come in and work on your system where there's all that patient information. Any of these people you need to have a business associate agreement with. And you've identified an enormous area of risk. In fact, some studies show that there is a greater risk for a practice by the people it does business with than what goes on inside its four walls. One study shows 58% of all breaches happen at the business associate level. So if you think you've gotten everything under control within your practice, I'm sorry to tell you that there's this whole other world of risk outside that we need to give some attention to.
Well, how do I avoid getting burned by the actions of my third party? Let's say I've got a good business associate agreement in place, which I assume you provide to the Medical Risk Institute.
Yes.
What is in there that keeps me out of harm's way to the extent this business associate mishandles the information?
Well, we want to make sure that there's an indemnity provision under this, and that's not required by federal law that you're indemnified by your business associates, but you certainly want them to be responsible if they make a mistake for reimbursing you. And this becomes an area of tremendous cost because of all the notice requirements and filing both with the state, the federal government, sending every patient involved a letter, providing identity theft protection. The cost can be upwards of $200 per patient in a breach. And that comes to us from the Potamon Institute, who tracks this. So it's very expensive in a large-scale electronic breach, and if that's done by one of your business associates, we need to think of the term agent, because they are your agent. You have picked them, and you are responsible for their actions. So we need under that contract to make sure that they're indemnifying you, and really that they have the ability to do that, which means insurance coverage. I'd like to see that your business associate has the appropriate insurance coverage to pay for the mistakes that they might make on your behalf.
Okay, you just talked about insurance for the business associate. What about insurance for me? Are all cyber insurance policies the same? And if not, how is a person supposed to figure out what are the must-haves and what are the nice-to-haves versus the fluff?
So cyber policies are not uniform. Unlike your traditional med-mal policy that's pretty much standardized, doesn't matter what carrier you get. It's all over the board with cyber because it's so new. I tell my clients, look for first-party coverage because that takes care of you, and you want to make sure that it has all the different elements. It is somewhat complex because these are new creatures and they're coming out all different ways and at different times. Whether it has media coverage, which you may need to respond to a large-scale breach, is an area that we don't often see. And so I think that you want to make sure that it covers all the different things that you could be financially responsible for.
So you do want to be careful with getting the right policy. You don't want to overpay, you don't want to underpay.
Right.
So it means having a real understanding of what are the must-haves in terms of the insurance policy. Is this something that you can point clients in a particular direction with reputable vendors?
Right. Neither Medical Risk Institute nor eMerit sells any insurance. I think we view our role as being able to provide some guidance and say, here's what you need to look for, both in the amount of coverage that you need and the type of coverage that you need. And that's really where we assist people.
For more information or to join our mailing list, sign up at info@medicaljustice.com.